Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to talk about the Japanese version of Saint Seiya and specifically on just one character, which is Desmos, and whether you should invest in him or not. And the reason why I want to make this video is because of two reasons. One, I created a video last week talking about the characters that I recommend people to focus on in this game, and Desmos was not one of them. I did not recommend Desmos. However, I didn't explicitly say the reason why I did not recommend them. The reason for that is because the video itself was already 40 minutes long, so I didn't really want to spend more time going through every single character one by one. But that's kind of why I only said I do not recommend him, even though he's very strong. I do not recommend him. However, then afterwards, I saw a few Japanese content creators then talk about this and talking about whether Desmos is worth investing or not and worth training up or not. And because that kind of originally came from my comment, that's kind of why I felt the need to actually explain my actual reasons for not recommending him for the Japanese players. Then the second reason why I also want to clear this up is because I previously made a tier list for the global version. This is from 4 months ago, so it's a really long time ago. In this video, there are some people who took a screenshot of the tier list, and what they noticed is that for certain characters, on the top right corner it says SS, and that's the case for Desmos. So a lot of people then also interpreted Desmos as someone who's ranked very high in an overseas tier list. However, that is not the case. All of the pictures from here are taken from a website which is called GatchUp, which is a very good website to be honest, because it shows you all of the skills of every single character, etc. However, the tier list function here, I don't think it's up to date. So you can see, the pictures taken from here because, all of the characters have like a double S on the top right hand side corner. So you can see that here. However, what you could then also see is that some of them are not actually reflective of the way global tier list is right now. For example, Evil Sega, no one plays him. And then conversely, you have someone like Iki Goklos, who's one of the best characters in the game, and not even ranked as SS here. So that's kind of why I don't feel this website is actually up to date with the tier list. All of this, I think, is just pictures that were taken at one point in time. However, they do not actually represent the strengths of how good a character is. So that's kind of why I would suggest you to take this with a grain of salt and potentially do not trust this too much. Obviously, I stand by all of the tier lists I make, and I'll have the reason why I put them in different tiers. But do not take it as anything with a top right hand side corner says SS as one of the best characters in the game, because that is just simply not up to date. So that's the other thing I also want to clear up on. Okay, so now back to the main topic, which is Desmos and why, even though he's very strong, I do not recommend him. So first of all, is Desmos strong? I would say yes, sometimes. He is only strong in certain situations, and the reason why he's only strong in certain situations is because if you actually look through all of his skills, you will realize actually they are good, but they're not top tier. They're not something which would change the game immediately. What makes Desmos really, really good is actually his close, because he is able to reduce all of the enemies' cosmo gaining speed, so that allows you to release your ultimates first, and also whenever you're able to kill someone, you are then able to absorb 100% of their cosmo. Those are very, very good abilities for you to have. However, this is all reliant on close, and this is the first issue I think that Desmos is going to have, which is in order for you to actually have a Desmos which is very, very good, you are very much dependent on being able to unlock his close first. And now if we take a look at progression. So I am currently 28 days into the game, so just under 1 month into the game. I'm already at chapter 15, 18. I do not have Desmos, as you can see, it's empty here. And if you look at where I am, I do not have anyone with level 30 close. The closest I'm able to get to is Virgo Shun, who have level 28 close. So that basically means for the very first months, for a normal person who doesn't pay, right? I didn't spend any money into this game. So for anyone who doesn't pay, into this game, you would not be able to get any of your character to at least level 30 close in your first month. So that basically means how strong Deathmask is going to be. It's already taking a huge discount in the first month. And yes, maybe after 1 month, you are then able to actually upgrade his close to level 30. However, if you look at priority first of view, Vergoshun level 30 close means a lot more than what Deathmask is able to do at level 30 close. So from that point of view, if you only have the resources to make one person level 30 close, it should be going to Vergoshun. It should not be going to Deathmask. So once again, you would be ending up with a Deathmask that do not have a very good ability because he's not at level 30 close. And then you may say, okay, what about level 20 close? Surely level 20 close is going to be good enough, right? Okay, yes, that is going to be the case. However, I can also show you something else. Once again, 1 month into this game, I obviously have Vergoshun at level 28, so he already went past level 20. However, no of my other characters is currently at level 20 close, right? I could potentially level someone up, but 93 is not going to be enough. 93 is probably only going to, in fact, let me do it now. I'm pretty sure 93 is only going to give you to level 15 or level 16. So it's still not going to be enough. So yeah, so after a whole month of playing, I can only get one character to 15 close, right? You can see no one's upgraded here, and one character to 28 close. So that basically means that after 1 month of playing, you are not able to comfortably get Deathmask to at least level 20 close either, because your first choice for level 30 close should always be Vergoshun. Like if you have him, it should be Vergoshun. And then your first choice for level 20 close should be Captain Shura, and that's because at level 20 close, he's going to do a lot more for you in boss battle. And boss battle to me is very, very important, because boss battle is one area where you can get very high reward every single week. But you can see here, for example, from my attacks, I am number 1 overall. And if I just take a look at what I'm able to do compared to the second person, he managed to borrow, I'm pretty sure he borrowed this from a friend, but still, he has a Sagittarius, a maxed out Sagittarius, and he does less damage than what I am able to do because of Capricorn Shura. And that's a very, very important thing. I didn't actually use my own Capricorn Shura because my Capricorn Shura is not it's not leveled up with 20 close, but I did borrow someone else's Capricorn Shura. So you can see here, this one have 20 close, and that is basically a massive game changer. So if you're not able to borrow a Capricorn Shura with level 20 close from a friend, he should be your first priority over Deathmask as well. So basically what that basically means is that you would be end up after a whole month of playing a Deathmask which is not even able to unlock level 20 close, and then you would just end up with this, and that is honestly not good enough for Deathmask. For Deathmask to be really able to shine, you kind of need his close to be completely maxed out. So that's kind of the first reason why I do not recommend Deathmask, is that simply speaking, the resources needed in order to make Deathmask strong can make a different character even stronger, and therefore Deathmask, even though he's good, he's not the best, and he is not going to be in my consideration of deciding who to level up. The second reason why Deathmask I also do not recommend is because he is also very hard to level up himself, and by that I mean the copies you need in order to upgrade someone. Now, in order for you to get someone to 10 star, all you need is only 4 copies. However, in order for you to go any higher, what you will then see is that in order to become 11 star, you need 8 copies, right? You need 4 copies first of all to get to 8 star, then another 4 copies when you go to 11 star. And that is a lot of copies. Now, in this game, it's actually quite funny. You can actually buy a lot of the different characters from the shop. In fact, it's easier for me to show it in my global version, because if I go into the shop, what you can see is that I can buy some characters, but in the future I can even buy light and dark characters. However, you can notice from here, there's no Deathmask. If I go into here, there's no Deathmask. If I go into here, there's no Deathmask. Deathmask doesn't exist in any of the existing shops. If I go into here, there's no Deathmask. If I go into the only other shop which is available in the game, and that's only event time as well, if I go into here, there's no death mask either. So what you actually then realize is that for you to actually level up Desmar is not actually going to be very easy. If it's someone else, let's say Leo, what you can see here is Leo is in this location, and also Leo is going to be in here as well. So I actually have two places where I can buy Leo every single month if I really need to level him up. And same for someone like Captain Shura, who's the other one I would kind of recommend for early game. You can buy him in this event, and you can also buy him over here. So once again, you have two locations to buy Captain Shura. And for vast majority of characters in this game, you can have at least one and a lot of time two locations to actually buy those characters if you need to upgrade them. However, for Deathmarks, he doesn't exist anywhere in this game at all. So what's most likely going to be happening is that all of your other characters will be at 11 star, 12 star, whereas your Deathmark will still be stuck at maybe 8 star or 10 star because you simply do not have enough copies to get him any further. So that's also the second reason why I do not recommend Deathmark, because if you're not paying money in order to actually get more copies somehow, then he's not the best choice. So he is definitely not going to be your best choice if you are completely free to play and therefore not spending any money at all in this game. And if you do spend money, you will just end up pulling on someone which is a guaranteed golden arrow banner, because all of them are stronger than Deathmark as well. So Deathmark fall into this really weird scenario where if you're completely free to play, you wouldn't invest in Deathmark because you do not have the potential to get him high enough or fast enough. And if you're actually spending money, you will just spend it on someone else even better. And even for people who are in the middle, who only spend a bit, you can see, because of banners such as this, where I can guarantee every 60 pulls, it's still easier for you to level someone up. So take me, for example, I already have my Vergoshun with 4 copies, so it's already at 9 star, and I still have 150 arrows left over for me to use in the future for a different character. It's just so much easier for you to actually level someone up when you actually have a guaranteed banner. So once again, that's Mars. Realistically, he is not going to be the highest level one in your team either, so therefore you would not be using him. So that's the second reason why I do not recommend Desmar, because he just falls into this really weird place where even though he's good, you cannot level him up fast enough even if you want to. So that's the second reason. And then the third reason about Desmar is that he is really only suited for PvP. And even for PvP, he is what I would call a character who would only make your wins easier, but wouldn't help you when you're about to lose. And the reason why I make this conclusion is because, once again, first of all, you need his clothes in order for him to do well. However, his clothes only really benefits, like the first 2 levels, they're nice to have, but they're not game changer. The game changer is really levels 20 and level 30 of his clothes, and that rely on you being able to kill someone first. And then it kind of gets a bit complicated, because if you are already able to kill someone, then it's not actually going to be that hard for you to kill other people. So yes, you can then immediately have a second ultimate ready for your Deathmark, but normally in those scenarios, you're kind of winning the battle already. So Deathmark is not actually adding any incremental value. And then if you compare the likes of PvE, when the enemy is like 3 times your level, your Deathmark is not able to one-shot or kill anyone. And if you're not able to kill anyone, then Deathmark is not adding any value at all. So that's kind of why Deathmark doesn't work in PvE at all. And in PvP, it kind of relies on you to be able to actually kill someone in order to work. So what that basically means is that if you're up facing against someone a lot weaker than you, and you are able to actually kill out one of the enemy very quickly, and therefore trigger your Cosmo gain, then yes, you can win that battle much easier with Deathmark. However, my theory is that if you're already able to one-shot and kill someone very easily, you are going to win that battle anyway. So the incremental value from Deathmark is not much. And then reversely, if you're not able to kill someone very quickly with Deathmark, then clearly the enemy is higher level than you, then Deathmark is not going to help you either. So Deathmark, once again, is one of those characters that only makes your wins easier, but it doesn't actually help you when you really need him to. So that's also the reason why I do not recommend Deathmark. And if you do really want to play Deathmark, there is actually one team which does work very very well with Desmond and possibly the best PvP team in the game right now for the Japanese server. And that's going to be, let me just take a random spot. The best team in PvP right now for the Japanese server is going to be the combination of Taurus Baron, Desma, and normally you have two other. Normally you end up putting Sirius and Honda Steering. Normally this is the best PvP team in the Japanese server, I think right now. And the reason why this works is that because you have Taurus Baron, which have his ability to make sure you take the enemy with the lowest HP and you make sure that they take a lot of damage. Then you normally what you want to do is you take a look at which enemy have the lowest HP. Then you put Sagittarius in front of that person and make sure Sagittarius is able to one-shot them because Sagittarius have very, very high ultimate skill. So Sagittarius can normally one-shot, especially if that enemy is already weakened by Taurus Aldebaran's bounce effect. And Sagittarius is normally able to release this very quickly because of his ability here, where he gains more Cosmo when the rest of the team gains Cosmo, and that's where your other two characters comes in. Sirius, who's gonna give everyone increased Cosmo, and also Hound Asterion, who also have increased Cosmo. So the combination of Sirius and Asterion is going to make sure your Sagittarius release his ultimate very, very fast. And with the help of Taurus Aldebaran, you can kill off that person, and then that triggers Deathmark, and therefore Deathmark uses close. This is a very, very strong team. I'm not going to disagree with that. This is definitely, I would think, the strongest team in PvP right now. The only thing you need to make sure with this is that you normally will just want to make sure your Sagittarius is facing the enemy with the lowest HP. So for example, if I put someone here very weak, like maybe Cannon's not the best choice, but let's say Saga Light, right? Saga Light is the lowest level out of this and it's in this position, then therefore Sagittarius needs to be here. If Saga Light is in this position, then Sagittarius needs to be here because you always want Sagittarius to face the enemy which will be locked down by Taurus Aldebaran, and therefore your Deathmark can then start off his ultimate. So this is definitely very strong. However, even though this is very strong, this is not something I recommend, once again, because it's just too expensive. I already talked about why Deathmark is very expensive for you to build because you cannot buy him in any of those shops. You cannot get any copies. So Deathmark by himself is already hard for you to level up. Then you have the likes of Sagittarius, who is a golden arrow character. So if you're actually leveling up Sagittarius, then that normally means you are not going to be leveling up your Virgo Shun and also not going to be leveling up your Sagittarius Seiya in the future. So this is also very expensive. And even Taurus Aldebaran, this is an expensive character as well. Because if you actually look at all of the Earth characters, there are a lot of good Earth characters, such as Hound Asterion and Sirius, who you also need to have in your team, and also your Virgo Shun. And now if you need to train up also Captain Shura to add his level to 9-star in order to unlock his level 20 clothes, as well as Taurus Aldebaran, so that he can do that bounce effect with Deathmark. You need to level up 5 Earth character, and there's just no way you're gonna have enough food for all of them, because if you look into that, as you level them up, you're gonna need at least a 8-star of an Earth character, and if you're doing this 5 characters, you need to do this 5 times. There's just no way you're gonna get enough food for you to level all of those Earth characters up. So that's kind of why, even though this is a very, very strong PvP formation, it's not really the easiest thing for you to be able to do either, and that's why I also do not recommend it. Now, if you are obviously spending a lot of money into this game, then fine, fair enough. You can build this really, really strong team, and that will probably be good enough for you for about 1 month. You probably have like 1 month to 2 months maximum, maybe just 1 month and a half, where you can beat everyone else in PvP. However, as soon as in the future, where you have other characters coming out, such as Sagittarius Seiya coming out, that team is not going to work anymore. And immediately, basically, you will end up spending so much resources on a really good team for just 1 month, only for it then to be out of date straight away when Sagittarius Seiya is out. So that's also the reason why I do not recommend Deathmark, because it's just really hard for you to make Deathmarks work. And yeah, so those are the main reason why I do not recommend Deathmark. And also, you do not need Deathmark to get far. Like I said, I am already chapter 15, 18 without a single copy of Deathmark. As soon as I get to 1740 and unlock Constellation, the characters are going to change by quite a bit. And Deathmark with Constellation is not actually as good as some other character with Constellation. So actually, in theory, if I can already get to 1518 without Deathmark, and once I get to 1740, I wouldn't need Deathmark anyway, then Deathmark is not going to help me much. The only place Deathmark would help me would be in PvP. However, you can probably see here, I can beat people in PvP without, like this person for example, he have Deathmark, he has a 10-star Deathmark or 5 yellow star Deathmark with level 20 close. I do not have anyone higher than 5-star, and my levels are generally slightly lower than his. He's at level 200, whereas vast majority of mine, except for Misty, is only at level 100. But I was able to beat him, so you don't need Deathmark either. Because if Deathmark, like I said, if Deathmark is not able to kill anyone, then Deathmark is just dead weight to you. He's not going to help. So you can see here, Deathmark is about to release his ultimate first, because that's what Deathmark do, right? He charged out ultimate fast. However, not able to kill anyone. Then I attack, he's almost dead. And that's about it, right? Deathmark, unless you are significantly higher level than people so that you're actually able to kill someone off, otherwise Deathmark is just dead weight to you. Now, you may think Deathmark works really well right now because some people tend to play like a 5-color formation with one light character or one dark character, and normally because you do not have many copies of them, they are a lot weaker than the rest of the team, so Deathmark may work in those scenarios. But as you can see here, in my case, if you actually have a very strongly built team with people that you will actually be using and none of them is particularly weak, Deathmark is not able to kill any of them, and therefore Deathmark is not going to be able to trigger his close skills, and therefore Deathmark is not going to help you in PvP either. So that's going to be my reason for not really needing to use Deathmark either. And overall, even though Deathmark is strong, in certain scenarios, those scenarios are just way too niche, and you will be better off spending all of those resources into someone else. And that's kind of the reason why, even though he's strong, I personally do not recommend you spending all of those resources onto Deathmark.